everybody, my name is Joris and welcome back to a little bit of a different video today. First things first, it's mad late, like pushing midnight, and literally everybody in the house is asleep. My sisters, my grandma, my parents are out of town. It's just me. I've been awake for almost 24 hours. I don't know how, but it's what it is. Anyway, I've been working on a lot of stuff. I've got Invincible and Squid Game done across the board, finally. And I'm working on some other stuff, but I wanted to also get back to some other types of videos to have coming out throughout March, you know, before we get to our next reactions. And I was cycling back to some old videos that I've done before, and I remember I used to do the It's Complicated reactions, and I kind of wanted to get back to it just to, you know, nostalgia purposes. I remember I used to do it a lot. That and Jubilee. I can't do Jubilee no more because their stuff's copyrighted, but we can still do It's Complicated. I haven't done it in a long time, and I kind of wanted to try it again. This is one of the more serious type of content I like to get into, because I do like to get into, you know, conversations, debates about social issues, stuff like that. And this stuff has always been right up my alley. So I just wanted to, you know, find the time to record it again and get to it, you feel me? This is not gonna be like a normal reaction where it's like, oh, you know, sub up to Patreon or whatever. It's none of that. This has nothing to do with no Patreon, no normal like reactions like I normally do. This is just other type, you know, content that I was thinking about doing for just having some more stuff to release while I get working on some other things, you know, give y'all something to watch, you feel me? So yeah, one more thing for those of y'all who don't know exactly what this is, it's been a long time since I watched this, but I don't think it's changed. It's basically this dude who is on the Las Vegas Strip, and he talks to people about, you know, dating, you know, understanding people, understanding women specifically. And he just goes and asks general, relatively unbiased questions about, you know, dating and people's standards and stuff like that. And I think, me personally, I think this dude is real good. I've been watching him for a minute, and he's pretty good. You dig what I'm saying? He has a good way of getting people to talk and tell the truth as well. And yeah, I wanted to watch it. And how this is gonna go is we just gonna listen. But, you know, once, you know, something comes up that I want to talk about, we're just going to talk about it. You feel me? Like, you know, like one of them type of reactions that a lot of people do. I don't do them a lot, not anymore anyway. But like I said, I just wanted to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, without any further ado, we can get into it. Of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that type of stuff. I mean, this isn't, you know, gonna be on Patreon or YouTube memberships and nothing like that, but you can, you know, still go check that stuff out. 7-day free trials are now available on the Patreon. I haven't had free trials before, but I enabled them for 7 days. Y'all can go sign up, you know, get a glimpse of things, you feel me? Check me out on social media, IG and Twitch. As I get more time on my hands, I really want to get back to the streaming. We got a lot of stuff to finish. I think I'm gonna hold for now on Super Mario Bros. And Red Dead Redemption. I no longer really have the time to play with my sister like that anymore. I have to restart Red Dead Redemption, but we will get back to Dying Light for sure. Yeah, of course, tipping, all that type of stuff. Yeah, check all that stuff out, you feel me? Let's get into it. I have to try to be real quiet. I'm gonna try not to get too deep into the conversations and stuff because, like I said, everybody in the house is asleep and I have to be quiet. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. I got 3 videos here that we're gonna watch, so here we go with the first one.
When it comes to relationships, do you think most people today overrate their own value?
Yes and no. I definitely think there are some people that probably rate it pretty high, but I also think that everybody is a very high value and you know your own worth. So I would say probably no. I think that everybody should know their worth.
It's tough. It feels like we are more in a hookup culture right now, more than dating. So definitely more hookups than actual relationships.
Again, it comes down to who is matching your standards. Not everybody has the same, even if they're all high. Some people need different things.
If people value themselves realistically, do you think dating would be more honest?
Absolutely. That's why I'm single now, because people are just not honest with themselves. So if you're not honest with yourself, how are you supposed to be honest with me?
Why do men use game and seduction to manipulate women into bed, while women are lying about their body counts and that they're traditional to lock down a high status man?
I just feel like there's a lot of lying going on right now because there's a lot of high standards. So for women, it's expected to have a low body count, while as for men, they can have however many bodies. But it's normal, and I've heard it coming from a lot of men where it doesn't matter how many women they sleep with, but for the women it does matter. So I can understand why women do lie.
I think a lot of it comes down to what we're being fed in society. A lot of everything is basically like sex driven, like sex sells, you know what I mean? So because of social media, it's went so viral that most guys, the average guys, are just attracted to having sex, and they're not valuing their own independence and actually being a valuable man towards a woman that they want to have.
Y'all can thank pornography and OnlyFans for that. Me coming up for as far back as I can remember, like middle school and high school and all that, before there was like a OnlyFans, like for real, like you heard of like porn stars and like adult, like the adult industry, you feel me? But when OnlyFans came in, that shit took it way too far. I ain't even gonna lie. That just added to the cesspool of, I don't even know how to say it. That and amongst other things, but OnlyFans was the main thing. I mean, I get it, for people who want to do that stuff, or for people who want to be in the industry, you own your whole stuff, because that's what it is, and that's, I guess, why it became so popular in such a short amount of time. Is you own, like, you get on there, you create an account, and you basically own everything. It's like Patreon, and I don't even think OnlyFans was originally designed for exclusively pornography. You feel me? It was, just like another Patreon, but it just became super popular for pornography. And I remember it was at a point, I saw, it was like years ago, they hadn't even been out that long, they released some announcement like, oh, we're gonna ban sexually explicit content. I'm like, I understand, but if y'all ban sexually explicit content, there's a high chance that y'all just won't have a platform anymore. And lo and behold, that's basically all OnlyFans is. And I wanted to speak on it too. They said it a little bit earlier, the whole self-proclaimed alpha type thing. I remember that too. That came up out of the red pill era. I think that era is just about gone now, but like the height of it was like 2022, 2023 with like Andrew Tate and like Fresh and Fit and all that other type of bullshit, which I ain't even gonna lie, as a young, man coming up, I got sucked into that. But to be perfectly honest, I didn't get sucked into it for like advice or guidance. I ain't gonna lie, I got sucked into it for the drama, to watch people argue. I'm not gonna lie, that is what I got into it. But it got to a point, and I'm so glad I kind of came to this conclusion quickly. I had been spectating that stuff for like maybe 2, maybe 3 months. And I came to a quick conclusion. I was like, oh, this ain't even it for real. It was a whole bunch of women talking about they self-proclaimed baddies, and a whole bunch of dudes talking about they self-proclaimed high value men. I just got so tired of people just self-proclaiming they shit, like they got real validated, paperwork like proving this shit. This shit got so annoying. I'm all for like empowerment and high self-esteem and feeling good about yourself and confidence and all that. But shut up about that self-proclaimed high value fuck shit. Nobody cares. That's the type of shit, like if I see it on like a IG reel now, that shit'll make me skip so quick. And it went mainstream so quick that it spread like wildfire. That whole type, it still kind of is, especially with like all the white room content. The white room content I can't stand either, like the 20v1s and pop the balloon, that shit is annoying. And to be honest with you, if you ask me, that I believe all that type of stuff is just humiliation rituals. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but it all started from like these one little points from like a few years ago, because I remember a time where like people weren't really doing, like not everybody was doing white room content, you feel me? Now everybody's doing content in a white room, and it's like, okay, cool, can I see something else? Shit.
Why are women lying about their purity while men are lying about their status?
Again, kind of the same answer. I think that guys are praised for getting a lot of girls, and girls are shamed on for getting with a lot of guys.
Why are women lying about their past while men are lying about their future?
Because men, it's standard for them, or expected for them to have a good career, and I think girls can be ashamed of their past with men.
If women lie
Yeah.
about their past to look traditional and men lie about their future to look successful, who's more deceptive?
Probably women. If we are lying about purity and like
Yeah.
how many sexual partners we had, it's I think it's worse to lie about than the status and the money someone has. Yeah.
Why is that?
You could all I mean you could always get more money, but you can never unfuck someone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, the past happened. The future has yet to happen. You feel me? You it's hard to, it would be more fucked up to lie about the past and to lie about stuff that hasn't really happened yet. You feel me? But yeah, that's always what people look for in dudes, at least, is status, money. Again, I understand wanting a dude that can provide, but like, we don't need motherfucking Birkin bags and fucking goddamn Eliante chains and fucking lamb trucks and trips to damn Turks and Caicos and all that. Like, we don't need that shit. We don't need that, you feel me? And then obviously for women, because I know for a fact that's what I look for. Purity. I mean, I'm pure. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, I'm a virgin. Like, I've never even kissed a girl. Never been in a relationship. Never, none of that. I just happen to be one of the few dudes out in the world that is comfortable saying all that stuff, because I really don't give a fuck. You dig? But I can say for a fact, like, that's something I look for. It's not exactly pure, but just that you wasn't out in these streets. You feel me? Because they be out in these streets sometimes. And I've gotten real good at looking, like, just seeing a girl, then like I ain't gonna lie, I'll look at a girl and like, women do the same thing. I ain't gonna lie, I do it too. Where I'll look at a girl and like within 5 seconds, I turn into a goddamn Model T800 goddamn Terminator and look at them goddamn. You feel me? But it's mad easy to tell, like, when you combine like appearance and how they dress, how they carry themselves, how they talk, how they act, body language, like all that stuff that you could see. When you're really good at like observing, and if you know psychology a decent amount, it's pretty easy to tell how people are. And most just girls I might see outside in general, yeah, they be out here. You dig what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I do see some where I'm be like, damn, she actually, like, there's a difference in my head. There's a difference between fine and beautiful. I see fine women all the time, everywhere. In my head, that's just stuff that, obviously if I was about that life, I would holla at that, but I don't, because that's not what I do. Beautiful is actually someone that in all aspects I can actually see this person being in my life for a long time. Not exactly as like a lover or whatever, but maybe a friend or whatever, I rarely come across them type of people, let alone women. You feel me? People that I could have in my life for a long time. I be out here and I be seeing it be some women out here be looking nice. You dig what I'm saying? But I don't ever really care. I mean, you know what? Cool. Keep it pushing, you dig? But yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, men are judged by their future, women are judged by the past. That's undisputed facts. But you can't really change the past though. Like, no matter what you do, you can't change the past. You can change the future, you can't do nothing about that past. But that goes across the board too, like, because dudes be out here like that too. And I'm pretty sure that's sound advice for women as well, is stay away from dudes that's known for messing around in the streets, because we don't ever talk about the dudes that be in the streets. It'd be a lot of homies out here, you dig, be dirty in the streets up. We don't ever talk about them, but that's just for people in general. You feel me? Just steer clear from them people. You feel me?
If someone tells the truth and gets rejected, what lesson does that teach them?
That person wasn't worth their time.
We're still not in the time where people are being authentic, and it's a sad thing to see and hear, but it's the reality.
Would you rather hear a comforting lie or an uncomfortable truth from someone you're dating?
An uncomfortable truth, so I can build myself and make myself more valuable and a better human being.
I'm in a relationship, so we have to tell each other uncomfortable truths all the time to be able to keep on going with the relationship, because if we lie to each other, then we're just kind of faking the relationship.
And not only that, like, I feel like lies eventually come to light and it'll just completely destroy the relationship itself.
Facts.
So uncomfortable truth for sure.
Yeah, give me the uncomfortable truth. I mean, hell, I spent my entire life hearing nothing but uncomfortable truths from people, so ain't nobody gave me no damn comfortable lies, no none of that shit. I mean, they gave me lies but they weren't comfortable. You feel me? People just, it was always uncomfortable, whether it was a lie or a truth or just somebody talking shit. You feel me? It was very much uncomfortable. So just give me the uncomfortable truth, you dig? And I genuinely think people need to cut it out with the, you know, comfortable lies stuff, because nah, me, like, I have no discretion. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, if you have, you know, something going on with you, I ain't gonna tell you it, like it's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's gonna be direct, it's gonna be blunt. Hey, you need to cut it out. Like, bruh, I have no discretion for people who just the absolute nuisance to everybody. You feel me? Like, I don't have discretion for those people. I will tell, and you can't bring me nowhere. You really can't. I will tell people in their face, like, bruh, you ain't shit. like you kind of garbage right now. You dig? You just gone somewhere. And that's why most of the time I don't speak. I just stay quiet. But like, you know, if you around me, like if I'm at work or like if I'm out, you know, with my family or something, and somebody tripping, I ain't gonna say nothing. But if you look at my face, you like, I can't pretend. You feel me? Like I ain't gonna say nothing. Sometimes, you know, just, you know, pick my battles. You feel me? But I will very much look pissed or look annoyed. You feel me? Like, I can't hide when I'm bothered. You feel me? Yeah. Gone somewhere. Cut it out.
If men have to pretend to be high value to be noticed, who's really setting the rules of the game?
I think you can set their own rules for yourself. I think, again, be yourself and be honest, and the right person will come to you.
Agree to disagree. I feel like women should always have the higher value in a relationship. I mean, women are divine feminine, and women should be the prize, and men should not feel like they're any better than a woman, if that makes sense.
How can women expect to be seen as these divine, feminine, angelic creatures, but not want to be held to a higher standard of purity than men?
Uh-oh.
Cause can y'all like do what we do for real? Like with the babies and all of that? I feel like that's why.
Because women birth.
Yes. And it was sacred. It's sacred. I don't know. Sacred.
All right, fine. Let's get into it then. Yes, obviously men can't have birth, like they can't go through the process, but I mean, you still need us. Like you still need, okay, look, we talking about kids, you feel me? When we bring kids, like fuck a relationship, fuck a marriage, we talking about family right now. When you bring in kids, you gotta cut all that shit out. Talking about, oh, I'm doing more, the other person doing more. Yeah, you need to cut all that shit out. Both mothers and fathers are equally as important when it comes to kids. Kids need both. Whenever it comes to this, the conversation of ability, who's able to do more and like who does more, I can't really pick no sides on that, because it's too much going on. But if you ask me, should nobody be raising no goddamn child by themselves? Should nobody be going through that alone? When a woman is giving birth, I believe the man who put that baby in her should be next to her the whole goddamn time, or else just stop having sex, use protection, or just pull out. you dig what I'm saying? Like, bruh, I'm one of those people, like, everyone keeps talking about issues when they happen, but I like to take the steps and tell people the stuff to do to keep the shit from happening in the first goddamn place. Like, we wouldn't have to talk about, you know, being a deadbeat and being a single parent and, you know, abortion and all that. Like, we wouldn't even have to be talking about that shit if y'all would have just been smart, if y'all would have been safe, if y'all would have been pure. You dig what I'm saying? Like, start with that. Like, you know, like these are all popular, good topics. But you feel me? What about that stuff at the start? No one talks about that stuff. I do, though.
Is honesty attractive only when it doesn't make you uncomfortable?
No, I find honesty attractive even when it's uncomfortable.
Why?
Because it shows that they care to tell you the truth even if it hurts.
I think honesty is attractive when it makes you also uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, it creates an experience, and I think that's something that people remember.
If the dating market punishes authenticity, can we really blame people for lying?
You can't blame people for lying because they're just trying to protect themselves, but you might as well just be honest because it'll all come out in the end.
Who do you think lies more, the person afraid of rejection or the person afraid of accountability?
Accountability.
Why?
Do you want to be held accountable for things you lied about?
Exactly.
I think the person afraid of rejection.
Why?
Because I think they're scared to be embarrassed. They don't want to feel, you know, in a sense, the word rejected.
And lastly, if women lie to protect their reputation and men lie to protect their ego, who's the bigger liar?
I think it's equal.
Shit,
I think they're both
Who
liars.
gives a fuck about who the bigger liar? Niggas lying. Yes, shit. God don't like liars. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody just stop lying. You feel me? All right. Dope. Dizzo. All right. Next video.
What are your thoughts on the growing epidemic of male loneliness?
I think many people are looking for more materialistic or lustful things than for something that's true and real.
Being lonely is a part of life, and that the sooner you accept that, the better off you will be.
Historically, why did multiple governments organize or regulate prostitution for men during wartime?
I would say
Morale.
in order to boost morale among soldiers and men and make sure that they still have some semblance of connection and intimacy.
Sex for a man is a great part of their, I guess, daily, you know, just keeping them sane in a way, quote unquote.
If sex is not a real need, why was it treated as a military and logistical concern alongside food, rest, and morale?
Oh, damn, that's a really good question. I didn't know that myself, but again,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't either.
The rage, we build up a lot of rage, and it's just a way to de-stress.
Is mocking incels consistent with a society that claims to care about mental health?
I mean, no, but I do think that for a society that claims to care about mental health so much, we're very hypocritical.
Mocking incels is borderline bullying, personally, just because I don't think anyone chooses to be an incel. It kind of just gradually happens over time.
Look, bro, a lot of people have different definitions of the word incel. To be honest with you, when we talk about it, like people, you know, change the definition so much. If we just talking about people who didn't, obviously, like, I guess me, you know, still a virgin, you know, ain't even, you know, been outside like that at all, and it's still very much pure, or just people who haven't really had that chance, or people who just live, you know, alone day by day, and yeah, people make fun of them. I mean, yeah, that's fucked up. You feel me? It's not my fault, like, cause shit. I mean, I say it time and time again, like years ago. I don't really talk about it no more, cause I did so much talking about it. But yeah, I mean, I was bullied for like 10 straight years in school, like by the same group of kids too. I didn't really realize it until I, you know, started getting conscious and maturing, that all that, you know, just bullying and, you know, messing with my self-esteem and all that, it kind of set me up for failure with women. And I remember I was talking to my mom one time, and she has a bachelor's, I believe, in psychology. And I remember I was talking with her one day, and I was basically, you know, just telling her all the times, you know, a lot of times, you know, the athletes and, you know, all them, you feel me, would always make fun of me, and they would always have their own, you know, humiliation rituals, where somehow I was in the middle of it. Girls just always laughed at me. I was always, you know, ugly, weird, annoying, or whatever. When really looking back, I don't really remember what the fuck I did to them people, you feel me? But I know for a fact that me being bullied and you know, that social trauma is like, probably over time, it definitely made me like push people away in general. Like, I'm introverted. Like, I really don't like going outside the house at all, obviously, unless it's for like work or errands or, you know, whatever. Like, I don't like going out, not even for like family functions. Like, I don't like going out. Social interaction for me is just mad weird. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I think I've been over traumatized, because I can't even function like a normal sociable adult. And I think that's also where the whole kind of nonchalant stereotype comes from. And I think I fall right into that category. I mean, I've never considered myself nonchalant, but a lot of people say that I am. And I guess it's just because you was raised to be the center of attention, but in a bad way. So now you know, you always got your head down, you know, listening to music, or you on your phone, you don't talk to nobody, you in your own little world. Like, I'm in my own little world a lot, you feel me? And I think that's where it came from. It just, for me personally, I don't know if you would call that an incel or not, you know, somebody who's not, you know, on everybody's level, who's not as caught up as everybody else. And another thing, it's weird, like, people making fun of you because you didn't have sex at a young age. Like, I be thinking about that sometimes. Like is niggas really making fun of me because I didn't sleep with somebody at a young age? Because I'm not somebody's baby daddy? Because I'm not paying no child support? Because I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that? Because I ain't got STDs? I'm an incel or I'm, you know, behind, like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, again, I have no problem saying it out loud. Yeah, I'm a virgin. I ain't never had no damn, you feel me? I'm too mature for like pretending and playing in front with people. No, I ain't never did it. You dig what I'm saying? And I really don't care. Like, I'm glad I'm at that point. I'm just confident in general. Like, I wish somebody would make fun of me for something like that, like, because I had sex at a young age and you didn't. What the fuck? That shit dumb. Nah, yeah, that whole thing is weird, but it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. And as I, you know, grow and mature, it is something that's kind of coming to light now. I'm so glad the one thing I love about this decade, amongst all the other bullshit that the 2020s has been filled of, starting with COVID, it's just been a fucking dumpster fire ever since then. But the one thing that I do like that's come out of this decade, I mean, it's been evident all throughout, you know, for a long time, but everybody's doing it now. Everybody's having podcasts. Everybody's got their YouTube channels. Everybody's got, you know, they social media platforms, and everybody's just talking and, you know, putting they stuff up. You feel me? They life experiences, they stories, the stuff they've been through, they trauma, you know, and they putting all that stuff up, and it's actually making people talk. Though, of course, especially like in this short attention span, you know, meme or core algorithm, whatever you want to call it, like that type of shit. Of course, you're gonna have them people that obviously they're gonna poke fun just to do it, just to be part of that crowd. But then you always have that healthy, you know, group of mature people who actually talk about it. And that's why now I like watching a lot of black male podcasts, is because they, you know, this is what we really need for real to heal. Because no one, especially when it comes to, because no one really cares about mental health like that, especially when you're a dude, especially when you're a black dude. You feel me? No one really no one. It's like the last thing people are thinking about. You know, our suicide rate is mad high, and I be thinking about it sometimes. Like, I really beat the odds. You feel me? Like, I got bullied. I've been down. I've been depressed. I've been crying. Like, I had some dark days when I was in like middle school, bro. Like shit. I can't tell you how many therapists I've been to. Like, always living my whole life, you know, everybody making fun of me. Really, niggas really making me believe something wrong with me, you feel me? Just to come find out it was really nothing wrong with me, but it was a lot wrong with them, and that's why they was, you know, talking shit. But even then, as I mature and I'm, you know, growing and learning and really realizing what stuff was, there's still a lot of that trauma and that hurt that I just can't quite put it to the side yet. I still got my boundaries and my walls up. I can be sociable when I'm, you know, in my, you know, good feeling, good energy, you know, my good mindset, whatever. Like, if I had a good day, I'm in a good mood, yeah, I'll talk, I'll giggle, I'll laugh, you know. But for the most time, yeah, I'm real to myself, nonchalant, if you will. Just because it's just what it is. It's just a defense mechanism that over time became my entire personality. And I think that's what it is for most men who fall in that category of nonchalant, or like you don't care, or you're just, you know, staying to yourself, is what it is. It's just because we've been bullied our entire lives, and people have just been making fun of us, ridiculing us, poking, you know, make fun of, and it's just, we don't tolerate that shit no more. And, you know, they be always telling you, you know, the quiet person in the room is who you need to look out for. Yeah, it's us. Us is the ones you need to look out for, because we've been picked on so much. Now that we have the mind and the body to defend ourselves, boy, I wish a motherfucker would poke some fun at me like we still in school. I wouldn't tolerate it.
Do we apply the idea that sex isn't a need equally to both men and women?
No, we do not. I feel like for men, it feels like more of a need, and women, it feels like more of an option.
Because men are able to fulfill their desires. Women, when they do it, they're considered sluts.
Men usually, and it gets stereotyped that men need it. People always say women just want love. They don't necessarily want the sexual part of it, but that's not true.
Definitely perceived as a need more for men than it is for women.
Why is that?
I have no idea why. I think that it's just more socially acceptable for a man to be seen as a sexual being, and more permissible for a woman to be seen as a sexual object.
They've said it multiple times, even in the last video, and I didn't want to talk about it, but they kept bringing it up about, you know, why is it when a man sleeps with a whole bunch of people, he's celebrated, but a woman sleeps with a whole bunch of people, she's shamed. There's a whole bunch of little points about that whole problem to point out. First off, on the women's side, when they be getting shamed, a lot of times they be getting shamed from other women. Women do a lot of women shaming. You dig what I'm saying? Men do not shame other men as much as women shame other women. If you a woman, you know that sometimes your worst enemy is another woman. I guess when it comes to it, say we, talking about sleeping with a bunch of people, yes, obviously men are celebrated for that, but it just goes more into like the stuff that you have to do as a man to be able to get to that level. As a woman, in order to sleep with a whole bunch of people, all you really have to do is just be alive. Just say yes. As a dude, like dudes rarely get the option to initiate, or they rarely get the option to be the ones giving consent. You feel me? That always falls to the women. And so I think that's why men are celebrated for it, is because it's men got to put in a lot more work to be able to get to that level. It's even gotten to the point now, sometimes women won't even mess with you if you not attractive to other women. You feel me? Like you could be a dude out here single, you ain't going home to nobody, you ain't messing with nobody, not texting nobody, not kissing nobody. You might get a little, some compliments or some looks here and there, but won't nobody really mess with you. Watch you get cuffed. Watch somebody cuff you. Now you got a girl and y'all doing good. Watch how many women want to get in between y'all all of a sudden. I kid you not. My mother tells me like all the stories of just how many women tried to come between her and my dad's marriage. That shit is ridiculous. Like women, a lot of times, not all, but a lot of women, they are the people that we are talking about. Like they are the ones that will enforce this. Oh, if you ain't got no bitches, like, and sometimes it's weird. And this is where it gets very unrealistic, where women will want a guy with all these qualities, and he'll have all of the qualities to the point that he becomes qualified to have multiple women, but then they still just want that man for themselves. Like, you want a dude that is qualified to have multiple women to just have you. You feel me? Like, now when you get to that point, now you gotta bring your standards on down, because real top tier dudes, I mean, hell, even goddamn comic book characters like Tony Stark and Batman and all them, like they be having hoes. like they rich, they smart, they be having bitches, bro. It's a lot that goes into that specific problem of why women are shamed for sleeping around and why men are sleeping for sleeping around. Now let's keep it a stack. Get the hell out these streets. Stop sleeping around. It don't matter if you're a man or woman. Stop sleeping around. But it's still, I think it's still a valid point to be made of the difference between why men are celebrated for sleeping around and women are ashamed. It's a huge difference in the amount of work and effort that goes into it. Sometimes dudes will try their entire life to get to that moment or to get to that level. It'll never happen. Women don't really have to do that much work. They don't have to really spend their entire lives getting to that point of when they can sleep with a bunch of dudes. They can be bottom of the barrel and still, you feel me, get grouped up on. You feel me? So, and as a dude, that will not happen unless you're rich or unless you have something that they want. It's the difference between what has to be done to get to that point.
Historically, some governments believed regulated prostitution could reduce sexual violence by providing controlled outlets. If that logic was accepted in wartime, why is it dismissed outright in peacetime?
Because it didn't actually ever prevent violence. It just created your biggest fantasies for money.
Okay, that's a good point right there. In reality, if you think about it, yeah, I mean, I don't know no statistics about that, because to be honest with you, I knew it was a thing, but I didn't ever look into it. But I'm pretty sure at times when it was like that, when like prostitution was regulated at whatever point in time, still niggas was violent. A lot of women was getting hurt and killed as well. But in a perfect society, it would run like that, where, it would boost morale, depression would stop, that type of stuff. But this ain't a perfect world. And on top of that, it wouldn't really so much be, the priority would not be the overall welfare of men or whoever. It would be for capitalism, for money. And if that's the case, then that shit should never happen, if you ask me. It'd be cool. I mean, in a perfect society, it would be fine, but this has never been a perfect society. So if capitalism is the main drive for legal prostitution, or, for, the military style prostitution or whatever, like, nah, that shit should never happen.
Are we willing to accept negative outcomes simply to avoid uncomfortable conversations?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always easier to just go silent than to have the conversations you don't want to have.
I feel like marriage is now looked at more of like a burden now, kind of like, you know, a man has to give up 50% of everything if it doesn't work out. So now it's more of a risk to want to take that type of marriage seriously. So that's how I would look at it.
Nah, yeah, that's big facts. That'd be something I'd be thinking about every once in a while, like, you know, getting married and all that, because the divorce rate is insane. Speaking for like dudes that be alone and whatever. I mean, yeah, we're avoiding divorce, you know, and a lot of people think we're just avoiding marriage, like, you know, why we don't want to be married, but we keep seeing too much stuff of like people getting divorced and, you know, women marrying dudes just for their resources and walking out with half their whole shit. And this is actually something that's kind of crazy that I found out about. A lot of like the world's richest, wealthiest women got rich exclusively due to the fact that they are either a wife, an ex-wife, a widow, or a descendant of a rich dude. What's her name? Mackenzie Scott, I think. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. She like a bitch. She a billionaire just cause she married Buddy. Like, I don't know if there's anything else to it or where else she could have got money from, but like she divorced him and she billionaire. You dig what I'm saying? And then not to mention like other wealthy, like the wealthiest rich, you know, women around the world, whether they be, you know, a part of like a royal family or something like that, or whether again they be a widow or a descendant or a ex-wife or wife of just a rich person, rich dude normally. And then of course the algorithm obviously makes it worse because, you know, they highlight the negative stuff a lot. And so for a young dude looking, you know, when it comes to the whole dating thing, it's always, oh, women are only out here for your resources, women just want to use you to fulfill their fantasies. And it's just like, okay, yep, I'm just gonna stay to myself. You feel me? And then again, obviously it doesn't help what I was saying earlier, the white room content and all the other type of stuff that the algorithm pushes makes it much worse because you think that everybody's trying to do this shit, and it's kind of not the case. And I think a lot of times you be missing out on a lot of people that be genuine gems because it's so cloudy now. It's you know, everybody's judgment is so warped because of the algorithm, what the algorithm is telling you. You feel me? It's insane. And I don't front, I don't pretend, to be honest with you. That's why I don't post like on social media and stuff. Like I don't, like Instagram specifically, I don't really post like posts like stuff like what I'm doing, pictures of me. I'm always reposting memes and funny stuff and like news or whatever. Like if you actually follow me like on Instagram, that's all I really do is just repost constantly, like stories, you know, stuff like that. But I hardly ever make posts of what I got going on because I hate going through all of that effort to try to get certain poses and angles and filters and lightings for pictures to make people think that I'm something that I'm not. You feel me? Man, you have to put a lot of time and effort, and I simply just don't have it. I put my time and effort and my breath towards other things rather than trying to front and, you know, make people seem like I'm you know, hell, I got hella photos from trips and, you know, gatherings and stuff that I could post on Instagram right now if I wanted to, but I don't because I really don't care that much. I mean, every now and again I will, just to put something up there just to let niggas know I'm not dead. You feel me? But I don't do it as much. I really, I'll maybe do it maybe once every few months, and a lot of times it be like funerals or weddings or just something like that, when everyone comes together. And normally in my family, that's the only stuff that makes us come together. It's whatever. But as a young dude, you be seeing it all over the place. You know, be careful. These women is out here for your resources. A lot of them are, but a lot of them ain't. You just gotta get rid of all that cloud, you know, that algorithm cloud. You gotta get up out of that, and you just gotta decide for yourself. You feel me? Just come back to reality a little bit.
I think we've decided to pretend that it isn't a need because we've had so many people say, and so many voices believe that it's kind of an afterthought and an option, which is what a lot of people think at this point, which is not the truth, because everyone needs intimacy and everyone needs connection.
Facts.
And sex is part of that. So
yep, big facts. Again, something I'll always be thinking about. Just because I beat the odds, I like to believe, you know, I beat the odds when it comes to a lot of dudes, really even kids, like little boys that went through the same stuff I went through. And couldn't shake it. You feel me? It's just something I always think about, because I know for a fact it's mathematically impossible. I know I ain't the only young boy who went through the stuff I went through. And to be perfectly honest with you, had I would have not had a strong, loving, Christian adjacent family, probably would have let that stuff take me out. I probably would have took myself out. You dig what I'm saying? But I knew for a fact that taking yourself out of the equation, there would still be an equation. You feel me? Like if you taking yourself out of the world wouldn't fix shit. You feel me? Like all the pain that you'd be feeling would just radiate to everybody else that loved you. And I mean, obviously I believed, you know, I wasn't raised Catholic. I was raised Kojic, I believe, Church of God in Christ. Obviously it's a kind of a rule in Christianity. It's like, you're not to take yourself out, because that's an automatic one-way ticket to the underworld. And that's way worse than whatever you could be dealing with, than the worst possible thing you could be dealing with on earth. So I knew no matter what was going on, taking myself out like that was not an option. I'm glad I shook it, but to be honest with you, it still affects me. Like I said, I think about it all the time. To be perfectly honest with you, I think I would like to, if I got the time, I would like to do more of these type of videos. I need to find some other type of material to watch though, just other than just it's complicated, because I really like talking about, you know, issues for real. Okay, we got one more video left.
What is a traditional conservative?
Probably someone who has like traditional values, like the mother stays at home, takes care of the kids, father has like a 9-to-5 job. Probably like I'd say like aligns with the Republican Party, but I know that's not.
No, yeah,
that's not really.
Yeah,
you
that don't
can't
mean
say
that
like nowadays.
Yeah.
A traditional conservative is a God-fearing, loving American who cares about his family, his ability to work, his ability to provide, and his ability to protect.
Okay, buddy.
Are traditional conservatives basically what feminists mean by the patriarchy?
That's a hard question.
No.
Because there are some
I
women
don't think so.
that believe in traditional conservatism, and I wouldn't say they're a part of the patriarchy, because patriarchy is men-led.
Not all
I
of
wouldn't
them,
say
but I mean, yeah.
traditional, more so the ones nowadays who try to imitate the traditionals from, I'd say, around the 50s.
Traditional conservatives have nothing to do with patriarchy. When women say patriarchy, they say they want like equal pay along with like equal rights, except for they're not willing to do the jobs that pay that kind of money. So it's, I mean, can I get on OnlyFans and make $2,000 a day? Probably not. So if it's going to do equal pay, like equal opportunity, then I should get paid like, you know, $2,000 a day for showing people my nipples.
Buddy, a character, ain't he? Buddy been drinking that good main character juice.
Why do feminists say it's okay for men to cry, but want to drink male tears?
Uh-oh.
I'll admit, I definitely like have a boy tears pin on my back, but I think it's like trying to take your power back, but it's still media pushing this hatred towards one another. Like
Facts.
they're like, take your power back, but by tearing someone else down, you know?
Our society kind of forces people to divide each other.
Exactly.
I think a lot of men don't really understand feminism, because feminism is just equality amongst men and women. You know, women are usually the more oppressed group, so obviously it's called feminism.
Okay, hold on. It's a lot to unpack with that one. Hold on. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. For as long as I've been living, this isn't even coming off the dome. Like, this is, again, I talk to my mama about this stuff all the time. My mom, my dad, I talk to, you know, them a lot. But my mom primarily, she the one that be telling me, like, bro, like, first off, I would definitely say, yeah, we have a conservative household. My dad has always been the primary breadwinner. You know, he a firefighter, he a fire investigator now for the past 6 years, fighting fires, writing reports. You know, whenever, you know, you look in the news, the local news, and it's like, oh, you know, this fire here started such and such and such, you know, investigators say fire started from da-da-da. You know, that's his job. And my mom's always been stay at home. Like, my dad has had one consistent job for like the past, really damn near my entire life. I can't tell you how many jobs my mom has been in and out of, whether she been like actual like getting up early in the morning, getting dressed to go somewhere, or just, you know, freelance work at home, you know, customer service type stuff. And even then she has so many, you know, like she's constantly on and off, where like she'll be on the job for a while, then get off, and then she'll just go right to full-time taking care of, you know, my sisters and taking them to school and cooking, cleaning, you know, all that stuff, you know, mama does. I must say this, and I'm glad they kind of talked about it right first, whoever that was, that one woman, that a lot of times people would align that with Republican. We are not Republicans. I don't even think we're Democrats. Like we don't, my family is not really political. Like, we weren't raised with a political, you know, moral dichotomy. Like, we don't live our entire lives, you know, looking at everything, you know, in terms of left and right and conservative and liberal and Democrat and Republic. Like, we just see good and evil. And when it comes to, you know, left and right, liberal, conservative, there's a lot of evil on both sides. Let's keep it a stack. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad they said that earlier. Like, a lot of times people would align conservatism with Republican, you know, and we not that. It's for me, I guess, just for black people in general. But I mean, for my family, it fell that way because that's the only way stuff works. I mean, not the only way, but like it's for us, that was the best choice, was conservatism. But it absolutely worked, and it's gotten like, now I'm starting to see how it's worked, to the point where when me and my sisters, or just our family, is out and we're around other people, we stand out. Like, I remember a while ago, my dad invited us to a dinner that his job was having, like a Christmas dinner, you know, at like one of the fire stations. And, you know, we went over there, and, you know, it was cool. A while later, he told us how everybody was like, oh, your kids are so well mannered, you know, they're really disciplined, you know, they're really, you know, you feel what I'm saying? So I think everybody can agree, not even if you were raised conservative, but if you were just raised right, it shows. Like, you stand out when you're in crowd, like a crowd of people where you know, there's often, you know, not a lot of negative, you know, connotations, you know, whatever. When somebody who was raised right, righteousness has a way of showing itself for real. And when people see it, they can't deny it. Speaking on my family, I think that's definitely a thing for us, because it's been a lot of things happening recently where my dad straight up told me and my sisters, like, we raised y'all so well to the point that y'all stand out. I thought about it. I was like, man, damn, y'all really did y'all shit with us. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say, because they were talking about, you know, feminism and all that. I do know that original feminism was obviously women be equal to men. That's fine. We can all agree there's multiple waves of that shit. And there's a whole wave of feminism that is really just shitting on dudes. Like just, what's the word? Misandry, men hating. You feel me? Dudes that ain't did nothing to nobody. You just hate them. You feel me? It's funny. I seen something a while ago that was like, everybody knows what a misogynist is, but no one knows what a misandrist is. Like, we don't talk about misandry ever, but it's out here. It happens. You know, a lot of women be hating on men just cause. And like dudes, good dudes who really ain't did shit to them, who didn't even know they existed. You dig what I'm saying? There is a whole entire wave of feminism that is just misandry, straight misandry. It's understandable if you one of these niggas out here that ain't shit, but a lot of the people who be catching that hell, that you know, misandry, be dudes that ain't did nothing to nobody, who be little kids being bullied and whatnot. You know, girls laughing at me, talking about I'm ugly, would never date me, doing whatever. And then that shit fuck you up when you start to grow as an adult. We don't ever talk about that. I mean, I talk about it because I don't give a fuck, because life is too short to be holding on to that type of shit. And I need to let people know that it's real out here. But we need to keep talking about it more. But again, like I said, I like this time of, you know, podcasts and everybody talking, because this is shit we really need to put up in the air.
Do you believe the God, man, woman, child hierarchy? And if so, should everyone be held to that standard when we're trying to promote gender equality?
I don't think so.
No.
Obviously, that's a more traditional, and
yeah.
Usually it's what works. However, that might not necessarily be for everyone.
Exactly.
I agree, but wasn't religion the original patriarchal structure?
Yes. Well, not necessarily all religion. Abrahamic religions.
Wasn't religion the original patriarchal structure?
It was.
So why do feminists have a prejudice against all men as opposed to just religious men?
I
Good
guess
question
that's just
on
like propaganda and all men, like just a lot of influential men have done some objectively not the greatest stuff, and that's just caused a lot of controversy and widespread all over hatred.
Here's what it is. It's because when people be talking about these issues, they generalize and they don't make it clear exactly who they talking about. For people who do talk about this stuff, a lot of times they need to be more responsible with their vocabulary. They need to make it clear exactly who they talking about. Like, I like to think I do a decent job of that. When I say, you know, not all women but some, or not all men but some, you feel me? Like, I try to throw that type of stuff in there to not generalize and just say, oh, it's all men or it's all women, whoever. But if you were to really go against that whole religious traditional thing, you would attack, or not attack, but you'd go for religious dudes, not just all men. But I mean, when people just want to prove a point, and when people just want to be the main character, and they just want to sound right, they just want to have, you know, that center stage, you know, they want to have that spotlight. They don't give a damn about that type of stuff, you feel me? And that's kind of the birth of a lot of people's fallout, is they don't say exactly what their you know, problem is with a group of people, or, you know, something like that. Like it's always some miscommunication or something that they should have said but they didn't say that really could have helped the whole thing, and then next thing you know, they're being boycotted by that group of people, which, I mean, they asked for it. You know, I mean, that's what happens. You know, you fuck around with a group of people, they start to hate you. But I really wish when people were talking about these types of issues, they would pinpoint, like, we talking about this group of people. We ain't talking about like I get, you know, women, because believe me, I look, where I work at is, like, I don't know if it's mostly women, it might be, but how do I say, a lot of times I'll be the only masculine straight male most of the time. And with that being said, you know, everybody else around me is you know, female or feminine, and they're real, you know, gossipy, you know, bubbly, whatever the term is. And again, I stay quiet because, you know, unless somebody's talking to me, I'm in my own world. But I be just listening to the stuff that they be talking about, and you know, it's always men ain't shit, da da da. And I'm like, that's fine. Just, you know, I have no problem with, you know, that type of rhetoric, but it'd be better if you were a little more specific about the men that you're talking about, because goddamn it, I'm right here. You feel me? I can hear you, and you talking about me. I ain't did shit to you. In an environment created for them, no one gives a fuck. You know, even if I were to bring it up, they'd be like, the fuck? Like, shut up. You feel me? How dare you? Yeah, again, I wish people, when talking about this type of stuff, they would be specific about who they talking about. Cut out the generalization and be a lot more responsible with your words. And actually, you know, who you talking about. Because generalization can really mess up the interpretation of your message. And it's very easy for people to hear something else. I just wish it was something that people did. They stopped generalizing and actually make an effort to let people know exactly who they were talking about. But a lot of people don't do that. And so I think when it comes to, you know, the whole, like, you know, the point that they made, you know, if it's just religious men, why wouldn't you go for them instead of all men? In the heat of the moment, no one gives a fuck. Like, again, when people just want to be right and prove a point and want to be center stage main character, no one cares about that. No one cares about being right. You feel me? They just care about being that person. You feel me? It's like a pride, ego type thing. It's fucking annoying.
Why didn't conservatives push back harder against early feminism, but push back strongly now?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what my grandfather used to say, may he rest in peace. He used to say, we fucked up when we gave women rights, because now not only do they vote, but they tell their husbands who to vote for, whereas before, like, you just told your husband who to vote for, and you probably would because, you know, happy wife, happy life.
Hey, man. Stop talking to that nigga. Boy got bad main character juice breath.
If conservatives hate feminism, why don't they fight for men's rights?
I have definitely seen some do, but I feel like also men have objectively far more privileges than women regardless. So I feel like it's more of an issue, more of a pressing issue to work on women's rights first before we work on getting anything more to our male counterparts.
See, hold on, let me, here we go. I disagree. Not entirely, but like mostly. I disagree with the whole idea of a patriarchy. Like, bro, like a true patriarchy, in my head, it's a society ran by where like men have the power, but I would assume that means all men. This ain't no damn patriarchy, bro. This is a elite white male triarchy. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I'm a man, I ain't got no power, and I don't control shit. I don't be going to work every day thinking I'm oppressing these hoes. Like, that's just dumb. Like, it's another that thing I was just talking about, generalization. People need to be specific about who the problem is for real. It's not all men that's the problem. It's just the men that's running shit, which, are, white elites. Them the motherfuckers we got problems with. We don't like them either, but like the patriarchy, like to say the word patriarchy, we need to come up with a new term. Elite triarchy. You dig what I'm saying? Or elite white male triarchy. You feel what I'm saying? But like, I be trying to tell people like, this ain't no damn patriarchy because I'm a black nigga. I'm a nigga. Like, I am like the bottom of the social hierarchy. Like black men, like just black people in general, but like, we bottom of the barrel. For as long as white women have more protection and resources and help and more, dare I say, rights than I do, I can't agree with the whole idea of a patriarchy. I do not have as much power as they do. If something happens to them, the whole world stops. If something happens to me, no one gives a fuck. The world just keeps spinning. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. It's multiple things that I could use as an example of that. Obviously, police brutality being one of them. Prime example, obviously, a lot of times police brutality on, black people very rarely stops the entire world. Most of the time it really just hurts our community, but no one else gives a fuck. The last time that happened and the whole world stopped was George Floyd, obviously, because everybody saw that, everybody was forced to watch it. But then you have obviously other people like Renee Good or Alex Petty that were killed by ICE. Same type of thing. And I'm not trying to throw the race thing in there only because they were white, the whole world stopped. But like, we've been dealing with this shit for a long time. Like, this is something that's not new to us. Now it's getting to a point where it's happening to them too. Every time it happens to them, the world stops. The world very rarely stopped when a black person was killed by the police. But like, now that ICE is out here going rampant and killing everybody, the world is stopping more. Again, it's just an example of the hierarchy, the social hierarchy. When stuff happens to, say, someone who looks like me, people will very rarely give a fuck. Let it happen to them, people will more, it's the outrage is a lot more bigger. I mean, obviously, again, I don't want to throw in that whole, because they weren't black, that everybody cared about them more, because there's a whole lot more factors that go into, those people. And I don't, rest in peace to all of them people, that ICE killed. I don't want to disgrace no deceased, you dig what I'm saying? And I know it's a lot more factors that go into that. Like, obviously the scale is bigger than it was before, not to mention they're not really getting killed by police, they're getting killed by federal agents, which is far from law enforcement. But still, from the standpoint of a black male, or just like black people in general, like, that shit been happening to us for a long time, and we rarely got that outrage. For them, when it happens, is instant, riots, all that type of stuff. Like I said, the only time that really happened was George Floyd. That was about it. Prior to that, I mean, other than like other ones, like obviously like Rodney King, but that was all the way back in the 90s. You feel me? There's not a lot of examples of, for us, when the aftermath was on the scale of, what's happening now. But again, I just use that as an example to throw in, the standpoint of the social hierarchy, and to bring it back to this, to talk about the patriarchy and stuff. I don't believe that this is not a patriarchy. This is not a society where all men have power. This is just a society where a select few of them do, because I don't control shit. Like these motherfuckers be taking my money. You dig what I'm saying? Like they be taking my taxes, half my damn paycheck. Every time I get paid, I gotta get gas, groceries. Like I'm oppressed too. The fuck? Help me. It's fucked up, man. This world is fucked up. But again, I can't agree with that whole patriarchy thing because it's not real. For people who really want to fight back against, you know, that type of oppression, it's not me. It's we are not your enemy. Like people, like men who ain't did nothing, because we ain't got no power either. The elites and the powers that be keep wanting us to fight, and you know, left and right, you know, who's around us. We all need to come together and look up at them niggas. You dig what I'm saying? It's time for us to rise up and stop fighting each other. That's what I'm saying.
God-fearing. It just comes back to being God-fearing. You know, you've got to love your God, you got to thank your God, and you got to appreciate your God, and you got to know that we are all sinners.
This nigga is all over the place. Stop talking to him. Buddy is talking with absolutely no substance. No substances in his arguments whatsoever.
Isn't the battle between feminists and conservatives just another religious war?
Yeah. No, for it, that's.
Can you explain that?
I've never thought about it like
No,
that. But
yeah,
no,
yeah, that's facts.
It's literally like brainwashing. Again, I think it's all through.
Isn't it just the matriarchy versus the patriarchy?
Well, I'm pro matriarchy. I think we need more women in charge, and like, let's just see what happens. Like, let's give it a shot.
I mean, how has it been going so far?
Well, we don't have enough data. We need more women to be in roles. Like, I'm sorry, but
I mean, aren't we more divided than we've ever been as a country?
can we take a look at our country and the political climate and see that men being in charge has not worked out very well? Maybe we should just try it and see what happens.
But I mean, didn't men being in charge give us indoor plumbing and roofs over our head?
But
and,
isn't that the same, like you're pushing the same ideology of like men fit into this box, they need to do this role. Like, why can't a woman be a politician and in charge? Like, why is that weird and different?
Well, I mean, aren't there a lot of women in the government right now?
And a lot of them suck.
Man, hey, hold on, bro. See, who gives a fuck about what gender niggas is when they get? How about you just do the fucking job? Like, do the right shit. Who gives a fuck about how long men have been running shit? Who gives a fuck about let's get women up here? How about you just get the right people in that bitch? Who cares about if they're a man or a woman or not? You dig what I'm saying? I'm on a whole nother level than other people. I be more mature. Like, I don't give a damn about who runs shit, if it's a man or a woman. Like, there's a lot of shitty women, there's a lot of shitty dudes that run shit. You dig what I'm saying? Like, of course, obviously, them old elite white males that's running shit, yeah, get them niggas out of here. But I don't care if you replace them with other men or with women. Replace them with people who gonna do the right shit. I really can't get caught up in that, you know, who should be running, you know, give women a shot. Yeah, give women a shot. The right women. Don't just give any woman a shot. You dig what I'm saying? Because they could probably do the same shit, if not worse, than what the motherfuckers that's in there right now is doing. Get the right people in there. No one cares about who they are, where they came from, what they look like, what genitalia they got, whatever the fuck. Get the right people in there, because shit been fucked up for a long time. Stuff need to be ironed out. You dig?
Women generally are never satisfied. That's why you see the highest divorce rates are with lesbians, because they are unsatisfied with each other and they split.
What is this nigga talking about? Is this nigga's responses even relative to his questions? I'm not even paying attention to him no more.
Personally, I feel like if women have the right to vote, they should also have to sign up for a draft.
If patriarchy is real, who enforces it more, men or women?
I feel like we both, whether like
yeah,
we believe that we are or not, whether it's like a conscious effort, we both uphold it in ways subconscious in our day-to-day life.
There are women out there that just rely on a husband to provide for them, and they don't really want to work, and they do sustain to those tradcon morals. So I believe it's just everyone to each their own, and that just makes society as a whole all the differences and stuff we believe in.
When women get that and men go out and work and they commute and they work for 50 years until they maybe get a watch and then they slog off to retirement, they spend all this money, they don't spend time with their family because they're making money, they're providing to care for all the people. That's probably a matriarchy. Because I think, if you ask me, I would rather not work for 50 years, not worry about any of this stuff, and just have somebody, whether it be my spouse or the government just handing me money to take care of my needs.
You dig? I ain't gonna lie, but hey, I ain't even gonna lie. I can't disagree with that standpoint. Shit. I mean, even though I'm not going through that type of stuff right now, I have a father who is. You dig what I'm saying? He come home from a long, hard day at work, and he got to deal with my goddamn sisters begging him for shit. Got to deal with my mom begging him for shit, and he'll come home from work and she want to go places that he don't want to go. My sisters want to go to places he don't want to go. He got to spend money that he don't have. My mama stay having Amazon packages coming to the door, just random miscellaneous shit. My sisters stay wanting, you know, Robux and V-Bucks and wanting to go to Six Flags and get their hair done and all types of shit. Me, I'm like the one person in the house that really does. I have a job, I got my own money and shit, but I am not like dependent like that to my dad, you feel me? Like, other than obviously a car to drive and, you know, the insurance for that and like medical insurance, and obviously, you know, a roof over my head and shit like that. Everything else, like food, clothes, you know, everything I need for real, that's all me. I ain't gonna lie, I see where Buddy coming from. That's a dude who know good and goddamn well it don't matter how hard you work, it don't matter how much money you make, how much you try to make your family happy, niggas gonna keep asking you for shit. And the only reason you tolerate it for as long as you do is because it is from people you love. You feel me? So I cannot in any way, shape, or form disagree with Buddy's statement, because that shit true. Like I said, I be seeing my dad go through that shit all the time, and I be seeing him, it's gotten to the point now I be trying to protect him, dead ass. Like if he's asleep or if he's watching TV, and my mom, primarily my mom, will go to him, try to get him to do shit or ass, I'm like, mama, leave him alone. He's content, he is at peace, he is in solitude, leave him the hell alone. Whatever you need, it is not that important. You can wait until he gets back up. You dig what I'm saying? Sometimes she listens, most of the time she don't care. I just try to take up for my provider, as I believe all good sons should.
Why do you think it's often framed as men versus women as opposed to elites versus average people?
Because the elites do that. They have control of a lot of things that we consume, and it's easier to have the lower or working class fighting with each other.
Like, let's just be honest. For one, men stand up for women's right to vote. We could take it from them if we want to, but we're really good people, and we generally want women to have a say. So I don't even know where to go with that.
I ain't gonna lie, Buddy, but this whole thing, this whole conversation is frying Buddy's brain. You can see the smoke coming from his ears. And the nigga Buddy is not ready for none of this. He not there intellectually quite yet.
Feminists say patriarchy benefits men. Men's rights say traditionalism benefits women. So who's getting the better deal and who got scammed?
I think we're all getting scammed.
Why?
More or less, yep.
Because I think that we should be
We've
working
been lied
together
to. Yep.
against the people that are oppressing all of us.
Thank you.
We're all getting burned in our own special little ways, because really, united we stand, divided we fall, and we are so divided as a country right now.
All right.
We need to come together and be like, okay, yeah, you're right about this thing, and yeah, we're right about that thing, and yeah, we both agree that this is bullshit, and we just need to...
There you go, talking some sense now. That's definitely true. A lot of laws, I mean, just in general, a lot of Bill of Rights, constitutional wise, you know, the overall laws and rules of our land do definitely need to be revised and rewritten, because them shits was made a long time ago. You dig what I'm saying? And those decisions, those rules and everything were not made with everybody in mind as well. Me personally, I think to a degree the Second Amendment, the Bear Arms Amendment need to be revised a little bit, because when they were making that shit, you know, it was a revolutionary time. On top of that, it took you a whole goddamn year to reload your flintlock pistol. Nowadays you got niggas with 100-round drum magazines and, you know, auto switches and lasers and hollow points and all that bullshit. People with no gun discipline, no firearms, you know, etiquette, whatever. People just spraying and praying out here. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, schools and churches and grocery stores and every damn where getting shot up. I think to a degree, yeah, it's a lot of stuff that need to be redone, but that shit ain't gonna happen until we get some people in that bitch who's gonna do the right thing. But then again, the whole system and everything was never built right in the first place. So yeah, that shit do gotta come down one day. You dig what I'm saying? It's just, by the looks of things, it seems that way. We're at war with Iran now. Epstein files, you know, trafficking kids and doing all that other type of stuff. So hey, revolution might be around the corner. you never know. We done. Damn, I've been here over 2 hours. Jesus Christ, it didn't even feel that long. This is a whole movie reaction. Yeah, that's it. Man, damn, this good to get back to these. I think if I could find some other material, if y'all can help me out, I think I'd, you know, ask y'all before, but if y'all can help me out, kind of, you know, scout out some decent, you know, channels, or who, like, you know, kind of not like no, you know, other podcasts or whatever, but like just other channels or people who do this relative type of stuff, or just anything that's, you know, gives me a lot to talk about, you feel me? Because I honestly do want to do more of these types of videos where we talk about actual, you know, real social issues and shit, because It's Complicated is the only fucking source of this shit that I have. But I would like to do more of this type of stuff in the future, a little more frequently. Not to this degree, because, you know, fucking I've been here for 2 hours. But I would like to do, you know, little videos of this every now and again. It was cool to get back to it for a while. You know, I don't even remember the last time I did It's Complicated reaction. I know it's been a minute, but like I said, I wanted to get some old content in, just for, you know, a little nostalgia. I'm supposed to be doing something with my sister as well, that you know, we wanted to do together. There's supposed to be a whole lot more content coming up before we get into our next TV show and movie reactions, Final Destination and Avatar Last Airbender Season 2. So it's a whole bunch of stuff I have to get done. I still need to finish. I got Invincible and Squid Game done, but I need to finish the Fantastic Beasts movies and the John Wick ballerina movie, and it's taking me so long to edit the first Fantastic Beasts because I forgot just how much it took to edit fucking movie reaction. Damn, this shit draining as fuck, I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna get it done. A lot of stuff I want to do, a lot of ideas I have. When we get to the point where this stuff is finished, I will vow from that point on, like, to not overwhelm myself and to give myself a steady amount of time to do everything. That more than likely would mean that stuff would come late for y'all, even possibly for members as well. It's just, I just got to get better at timing, and I will try to have our new content, our new reaction content started by the time April gets here. It's a lot of stuff going on right now, but yeah, this was dope. Nice to get back to some more, you know, social issue reactions. We used to do a lot of these, but I used to do a lot of I used to do a lot of Jubilee, but they're copyrighted. I can't do that no more. For now, I'm gonna go. Hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out all over the place. Check out the YouTube memberships, or you could start your 7-day free trial today on Patreon. You dig what I'm saying? Movie reactions, whole bunch of other content, stuff that I'm working on the way. Small rewards like, you know, status updates, sneak peeks, early access, all the way to bigger stuff like out loud shout outs to my videos, promo codes to my online beat store, leaderboard recognition at the end of videos, bunch of stuff I got for, you know, my members. Sub up and join the family today. Tipping is available for those who don't want a subscription but still want to show monetary support. Check me out social media, IG and Twitch. Like I said, I want to get back to a stream soon. Don't think I'm going to continue the Super Mario series with my sister. I think we might restart. Honestly, we're just gonna go on to Detroit Become Human, which won the 2025 game poll. So yeah, we need to get back to a stream soon. Also, last but not least, verified artist on all the audio streaming platforms. Beat Store, Beats for Purchase. Working on the album on the way, you know, coming along nicely. Also got a artist YouTube channel, check that stuff out. Got a whole bunch more stuff up there. Instrumental remakes and custom music videos that I've made for like all my previous stuff. If you just want to listen to my stuff, yeah, I'm on all audio platforms. You dig what I'm saying? All my links are in the description if you want to check out all my, you know, music, streaming, gaming, you know, all my social media. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.